and Anka for inviting me once again. I love these. I can't believe this is my third one with you guys. I can't even believe it that it's already, yeah, time goes fast. So I'm excited to be here. And I think this is the third time you guys are doing it, right? I remember the very first one that you pulled together and now.
Well, yeah, it's the fifth, technically.
Oh, this is the fifth. Okay.
Yeah. Well, yeah. So
I haven't been doing it with you for 5 years though.
Anka did one, a kind of a small one, originally before her and I worked together on with the events being on my timing research site. So that was officially the first one, but then this will be the fourth one that's on timing research. So.
Okay, so has it been my fourth? I feel like I did the first ones with you. So is this the fourth one that I'm doing with you?
I'd have
Oh my goodness. That's so crazy. Anyways, I remember, I think it was only like one day in the beginning, right? And now we've got so many amazing women educators. It's so awesome. I love seeing women in this industry because it wasn't like that at all when I first began 11 years ago. It was like barely any at all. So this is wonderful. I love seeing this.
Your first Synergy Trader one was October 2019. That was a fall trading strategies one. But then.
So that means it was the 20. Yeah. So no, this is my third one with you, like for the women's day one.
And then
right. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, you have good record. Good record tracking.
Yeah, I guess.
Good record keeping, I should say.
All 9 years or so of timing research event schedule.
Wow, good for you. Yeah. Well, I'm grateful to be back here. And I just wanted to say thanks to everybody who is sitting here and joining us today, because I know, taking the time out of your day can be a little bit hard sometimes. So I am just so grateful that you guys are joining here, because there are some amazing, amazing women educators. I've actually been listening in on quite a few. So obviously not today because I'm the second one, but yesterday. And just in general. So thank you everybody for being here. I am Marina, the Trader Chick, and this is me. I'm so happy to be here. And today what I want to talk to you guys about is I want to get back to the basics, something that I believe that a lot of us overlook, or we get so deep into the learning process or the everyday process of it that we forget to go back to them. And I know for a fact when we are stuck or when we have like a challenge, just going back to some of the basics can really completely take you to that next level. And I have seen it with me over and over again. And I really want to focus on that today. Something that will simplify your day trading if you're into swing trading or even investing. So that's what I'm going to be talking a lot about today. But before we do that, I want to just do a quick intro of who I am, because a lot of times we forget that we are people, right? We are wholesome beings that come to the charts and sit at the charts. And a lot of times people are like, I'm just sitting here for fun, but you bring your entire personality, your humanity into your charts, right? Because it's all about the decisions that we end up making. And a lot of those decisions, it's all in our heads, right? Because it's how we view certain things. And that's why I actually want to talk to you guys today about, I'm also going to be busting quite a lot of misconceptions, which basically are just kind of like limiting beliefs, right? So once you get past the limiting beliefs, that could also take you to that next level. But it all starts with who we are. And I want to talk to you guys about who I am. I am Marina. This is me, the Trader Chick, and I did just move to Barcelona, Spain. However, I have been an expat for over 20 years at this point. Me and my family had first lived in Costa Rica and then 14 years in Guatemala, and we just moved from Guatemala to Spain. It's literally been a month, but the process took several years to do, obviously with COVID and all that other stuff, and it's been absolutely worth it. I love living in Barcelona, absolutely love it. So this is me, Marina, the Trader Chick. And before I became a trader, I was actually a fitness instructor and a travel writer. And the main reason I bring this up is a lot of times people believe, and this is one of those misconceptions, that you need to come from a math background or an economics background or a financial background. I don't have any of those types of backgrounds. I literally was a fitness instructor and a travel writer, and I'm still a travel writer. I still have a website. It's called Travel Experta, which I am incredibly active on. It was actually my very first online business. And the thing is that me and my family, we travel a lot. For us, traveling is not a luxury, it's a necessity. And to be able to find something that I could do when I travel, I mean, we travel 3 or 4 months out of the year. So I can't be handcuffed to my desk, right? I need to be able to take my computer and work from wherever, because I'm also not, super wealthy that I just can't work either, because I also like to work. So trading was something that I found to be the perfect balance for my lifestyle, right? I'm able to do it from anywhere in the world. And it could be very, very lucrative as well, with very little time involved. And that's the thing that I want to say, that anybody can do it. And it's not as complicated as you think. And I'm also trilingual. And the reason why I bring this up is because I learned English when I was 6 years old. I'm actually a Soviet Union refugee. And even though I was born with Russian as my mother language, we moved to the United States pretty early when I was really young. So I wasn't actually learning a new language. I just continued learning how to talk. However, I learned Spanish in my late 20s. And when you learn a new language, when you're older, it's a whole process, right? It's this entire process that you have to go through. And when I was struggling with trading for years, probably for like 2 years. I was struggling. I could not get it until I decided to get back to those basics, cut out everything else. And then instead of looking at it from like, I'm going to beat the market or how do I predict the market, I started to look at it as reading the market and understanding what the market is saying to me, basically like learning a whole new language. It changed everything for me. And whenever I talk about this, a lot of people come to me afterwards. I used to do a lot of in-person presentations. They're like, oh my goodness, that's true. Like if I learn it as a language, it changes everything. And that's the reason why I bring up being trilingual, because I did have that experience of learning another language in my later years. And it makes a very big difference. And like I said, day trading, that's the coolest thing of all. You could do it from anywhere in the world. I've completely simplified my whole trading experience. I have one chart, 2 indicators. I have just my laptop, and as long as I have internet. And today, guys, you have internet everywhere. I mean, this was a big question that people were asking me when I lived in Guatemala. How's the internet? Oh my goodness, I heard it's terrible. Funny enough, I used to have worse connections when I visited my parents in New York City than when I lived in Antigua, Guatemala. The internet is everywhere today, right? Unless you're going into like, I don't even know, like the back country, who knows where, and even there you can still get internet. So that should not be something to keep you from being, from going into it full on. And as I mentioned earlier, I used to do a lot of in-person presentations, but when COVID hit, obviously COVID stopped everything. But after that, I realized that I could meet a lot more people and get through to a lot more people doing these types of online summits a lot more. And I enjoy it a lot more as well, because there's so many people from all over the world. Now, before I get into my presentation, I have the entire presentation for free for you guys. Go here, makingofadaytrader.com. Go to makingofadaytrader.com. Just go here. You could get the entire presentation for free. Once you put your name in, boom, you'll get the presentation sent to you directly. Makingofadaytrader.com. All right, so let's get into what is day trading, right? What in the world is day trading, and why is it not investing? So unlike investing, with day trading, you do not want to diversify. And if I could get anything through to you guys today, this should be probably the most important fact, right? You don't want to diversify. Whenever I get people coming to me who want to work with me about how to trade, they're like, okay, I trade this. I want to learn how to trade this. And I always tell them, let's focus on one thing. And when you master that one thing, then you can consider going into the other things. Imagine this. Imagine your child comes up to you and they're like, and they say they want to learn how to play a musical instrument. You're like, okay, super. What do you want to learn how to play? And they go to you, well, I want to learn how to play the piano, the guitar, the drums, and the flute. And you look at them and you're like, but you have to pick just one. They're so different, right? And that's literally the same thing when it comes to financial markets. Choose your one, because you cannot be playing 4 different instruments at the same time. However, if you choose that one and you master it, a lot of times you might not even want to go and learn the others, because this is the one that's going to be bringing you the money. Think of Liberace. I don't care if you guys like him or hate him. It doesn't matter. We all can agree he was brilliant. He was an absolutely brilliant pianist, right? And I bet you if he picked up the guitar, he'd probably be amazing at it, but he knew where his mastery was. And it's the same thing here. And a lot of times people come to me and then we focus on just that one instrument. And you know what? They don't go anywhere else. When they invest, though, that's a whole other thing. So here's the thing with investing. When you're investing in a company, you're learning about what they are doing and they're creating and who's working for them, right? And you could sit through those ups and downs, right? However, day traders, we don't care. So if Apple is coming out with the iPhone 14 or 15, whatever number they're on now, that's in the future. For day trading, it's not happening today. I don't care. I just want to see what's happening right there in front of me right now. And day traders can make money going up and going down. And that's the beauty of it, right? And if you focus on what's happening right in front of you through technical analysis, you can understand a lot more. You're not as invested, because literally being invested is making that investment that you're putting in your money in the hopes that it's going to grow. Right? And that's kind of like being part of the company, and day trading is not like that. Now, I want to bust some of the myths, because a lot of times we are just full of myths and misconceptions, especially when it comes to day trading. And those I call limiting beliefs, right? When you have those limiting beliefs, it keeps you from going further, right? But once you break those beliefs and see that they're not true and they were just myths or lies or misconceptions, you could get a lot further. So the very first one that I find to be probably the most impactful is that it's risky, that day trading is gambling. So technically, if you think of it like this, right? Imagine you want to be a pilot. Okay. And you want to be a pilot, and literally the next day you get into a plane and you miraculously take off. Do you think you're going to land safely? Chances are no. That's like a kamikaze mission, right? And imagine inviting your entire family to join you and go the next day without ever taking a class, without ever doing simulation hours. Would you say that that's gambling? No, you would actually say it's stupid. And people would never even consider that. Yet, the majority of people, I would say 95% to 99% of people that say that day trading is gambling, usually decided to take their money and put it into the markets without ever understanding what's even going on in the markets, or having a strategy, or even understanding the lingo. And I make the analogy of inviting your family into the plane to money. Why? Because money we breathe, like it's as important as air, right? You can't deny it. And when you work hard for your money, that is the money that feeds your family, that takes care of your family, that sends your kids to schools, right? So money is that important. Why would you take your really hard-earned money and just because you heard somebody is doing well in the market, decide to put it in? Of course, you're going to lose because you don't know what you're doing. Of course, then you're going to say it's gambling. But if you went to pilot school, if you put in the hours, if you worked with an instructor, if you did simulation hours, if you finally went up into the air with an instructor with you, would you call that gambling? No. You would say, well, that's the only way to go about it. It's the same thing with day trading. You need to understand what's going on. You need to put in the time to learn it before you just think that you're going to get rich yesterday, right? If it was that simple, we'd all be millionaires, right? But it's not. But the gamble and the riskiness of it can be pretty much eliminated if you really understand what you're doing. Now, the other huge misconception is that you need $25,000 to get started. Total misconception, massive lie. You can start with $100, $500, $1,000, regardless of which market you want to trade. What is this $25,000 misconception? If you want to have a margin account, that is the only reason you will need $25,000. What is a margin account? I'm going to talk about it a lot more in a little bit, but basically it is loan sharking. It is what brokerages pretend to tell you that it's a perk, but it's loan sharking. And I'm going to really go into it a lot more. Here's the deal, guys. You do not need $25,000. You do not need a margin account. It is not mandatory, and it's certainly not obligatory. So once you understand that, you could trade with $500, $1,000 easily. So again, don't get into this misconception. The other thing, like I mentioned earlier, is that you need to be a math whiz or have a financial background. You know what? I have no idea about math. I never even do any mathematics when I trade ever, except for what are my profits and what are my losses, because there is no math involved. Okay, it's all about technical analysis. It's all about patterns, and patterns are not mathematical. It's understanding what is happening in front of you by understanding the technical analysis. You do not need to have any of these. Like I said, I was a fitness instructor. I literally was a fitness instructor before I became a day trader. Oh, the other thing is that it's so stressful and so chaotic. Well, if you're looking at this mess, absolutely. So this is probably one of the biggest lies out there, because a lot of people that say that they have all these charts and all these graphs and all this stuff going on, it's completely unsustainable. Humans are not capable of seeing all this craziness going on in front of them all at once. Okay, it's absolutely impossible. And whoever is saying this, it's not sustainable, and they're probably just putting on a show because it's not real. We can't manage, we can't do that, right? Like I said earlier, I have one chart, one monitor. I literally travel with my laptop, and that is it. Okay, it's that simple. Now, the other thing is you need all these softwares and indicators and algorithms. You know what? There's this thing called the shiny object syndrome, and it is a big deal in the day trading industry, because I see that people that are constantly failing or unable to do because they're not putting in the time, they're not learning the strategy, they're not committing to really learning, they go and look for these shiny objects, things like, oh, a new algorithm or a new software. Look, the only thing you need is a platform. You do need a charting platform, and there are many really good charting platforms that are not expensive, and they usually come with universal indicators. That's all you need. You do not need to buy any new indicators. You do not need to buy, you do not need to buy any algorithms. You do not need to buy any of that stuff. Okay, it's really, really important to know that. All you need is you've got it right here in front of you. All right. Research and news. So I have a lot of people that are saying that they want to do stocks or equities, and they wake up at 4 in the morning and sit in front of the newscasting and watch these news, and then they put in 8 hours of frustrating days in front of their charts, and then after the charts they go and do more research, and it's totally unsustainable. First of all, nobody can maintain that kind of a schedule, and secondly, news is literally a lot of, quote unquote experts or pundits that just have their own agenda. They just want to talk about their own agenda. They don't have any real understanding of what's going on, and maybe they do, but they have a good platform of where they could talk their agenda, and it's usually, buy on the rumor, sell on the news, and on the majority of the times, these news are just little, I call them telenovelas, right? They're not real. If you have your technical analysis, if you understand your indicators, that's all you need. It doesn't, I literally get in front of my charts, 5 minutes, I read the charts, I put in my technical analysis, my areas, support, resistance, whatnot, boom. And that's all I need. And now I am ready to trade. I have no idea what's going on because, like I said, I don't care if the market is going up. I don't care if the market's going up, down, because I could make money regardless. And that's the most important thing. So here's the other thing, and I can guarantee that every single person in this room has either gone through it or is going through it right now. And that is called trigger happiness. I certainly went through it. I am guilty as all the rest. What is trigger happiness? And this is a thing. There's this misconception that traders need to be in and out of trades all the time. So untrue. I remember when I first began, in like a 2 or 3 hour session, I had like 40 to 50 trades. First of all, it's completely unsustainable. I mean, just the commissions alone ate up any profits that I had. And secondly, that's just crazy. So when I started to really learn how to trade, I started to notice that I'm only really seeing like 2 or 3 trades per day. And when I started to talk to pro traders, at the end, they were saying that they're only taking maybe 1 or 2 trades per day in total. Why? Because here's the thing. I don't like this analogy, but it's probably the best one out there. Day traders are like big game hunters. When you think of a big game hunter, do you really believe that they're going to go out there and start shooting at prairie dogs, or what are they called, field mice or insects? No, they sit patiently and they wait for the big game. The same thing with day traders, right? You have to sit and you wait for those highly profitable strategic trades. And that comes with understanding and having a strategy in place, correct? So actually what I do a lot of times with my students is, once they are ready to go live, right before they go live, we go through a challenge. It's a 1-month challenge where you're only allowed to take 1 trade per day, because trigger happiness is a thing and it could really eat away at all of your money. And it's amazing to see their transformation, because all the things that they saw were good, they thought were good trades, all of a sudden they're like, no, this is terrible. Like they were really savoring for that 1 strong trade. And that really, really changed everything for them. Okay, so I always say the most radical way to trade is conservatively, because you only hear about aggressive behavior on the upside, but you barely hear about their huge losses, right? If small profits daily bring you those big profits yearly. So focusing on the big targets, it looks good on paper, but really, if you really have a strong strategy and you're bringing in even smaller profits daily, that is what's going to be consistent. That is how you become a career, a lifestyle trader, right? And that's the goal, right? We don't want to just do the one-off, because the second time off, you're going to be losing that money, right? So here's another thing that I have kind of coined this term, FOMAT. I'm sure you guys have heard of FOMO, fear of missing out. So I have found that FOMAT, fear of missing a trade, is a big problem with trading. A lot of times people will see a trade and then they will chase that trade because they think that it's going to go away because they saw it too late. And then when you chase the trade, you become very emotional. You start to go crazy. By the time you get into that trade, it's already gone the wrong way. Then you've removed your stop, and it just becomes this colossal and epic failure where you end up losing a lot of your money because you become so emotional. Look, guys, here's the reality. There is always another trade coming. Always. If you miss a trade, or if you spot it and you find that you're about to chase that trade, stop. Because it is literally just that. It's going to be another trade coming up, maybe not at that moment, maybe not in an hour, but it is going to happen. So save yourself. Stick to the logistics. Be in front of the computer, in front of your charts, watching out for that next good trade. Because once you start to chase that trade, you become very emotional and your mind does not work logistically, right? It does not work objectively. So now I want to talk about what to trade, going back to that one thing to trade. Okay, it's really, really important to know the different markets. And figure out the one that you really align with the most, the one that you enjoy the most. So Forex, we all know what Forex is, right? It's foreign exchange. And what it really is, it's pairs. You take two pairs of currencies. And obviously the biggest one this past year has been euro versus the US dollar, or US with the euro, however you want to call it, right? It's been really fluctuating a lot. So focusing on those two, it's a lot of work. Yes, and I would maybe at most say if you want to do several pairs, I would recommend only doing maybe 2 pairs in total, because they're so separate, they're so different, and there's so many things going on, because you're not dealing with the actual currency, you're dealing with the egos of the leaders of each of these countries, right? And all of this could really change really fast. So if you're more tuned in into just the US and just Europe, or just Japan and just Australia, it helps you focus a lot more on what is actually happening, rather than having 10 different pairs and being completely chaotic, not going to sleep. And I've met a lot of Forex wannabe traders, and they are just, jacked up on coffee all the time, stressed out. That is so not fun. Like, I can't even say how not fun that is, right? Defeating the whole point of trading. Then we have equities. And this always amazes me, because whenever I say, what do you trade? And people are like, oh, I trade stocks. Just in the US market alone, there are over 5,000 different stocks. So what are you trading? All of them? So if you're going to look at the people that are successful, it's usually broken down like this. Some of them are just into sectors, maybe pharmaceuticals or entertainment or technology, or maybe just the big caps, or maybe just the small caps. And to be honest with you, I've met quite a lot of really successful traders that focus only on that one equity. Tesla, Facebook, Microsoft, Amazon. These are really powerful instruments, right? Really powerful companies that have very high volatility and can be really fun to trade. And that's all you'll need, really. And then the other market is futures, right? So what is futures? When I ask people again, what do you trade? Oh, I trade futures. So I'm like, so you're trading wheat, soy, crude, and the indexes? Because they're all so different. Like I said, you cannot play 4 different instruments all at the same time, right? I mean, that's like a circus act. It doesn't work. So what are futures? It's just the commodities market, right? So the commodities market also, you could trade indexes on it. Like, for instance, for me, I am an ES mini trader. I absolutely love the ES. That is the S&P 500 futures on 500 index on the futures market, right? But if you want to trade wheat, great, but it certainly is not going to move the same as crude, and it's certainly not going to move the same as soy. And you have to understand those differences. So choose the ones that you want to really focus on, and preferably the one. Options, great. Options is a whole world of its own, right? So if you're going to do options, stick to options. And of course, we have crypto. Crypto is a whole beast of itself, correct? So when you say crypto, and then I ask you which one, what do you do in crypto? And I hear Bitcoin. Bitcoin is 1 out of 6,000 altcoins and projects, okay? Again, which ones are you going to do? Do you want to maybe stick to a couple? Do you want to just do Bitcoin, just Ethereum? Focus and decide which one you want to do, okay? It's really important. Cryptocurrencies, it's so erratic. It's so manipulated. There's so many things going on. It can be very profitable, but it could also be a really challenging thing, okay? Now, let's talk about brokers, and I want to really touch upon this margin accounts, okay? Because a lot of people get very confused about the roles that brokers play in their trading journey. What are brokers? I'm going to just simplify this for you as easily as possible. Imagine you want to go, you need to buy jeans, right? You want to buy a pair of jeans. You go to the store, you try on all these different jeans, and there is a salesperson there. They can care less what those jeans look like on you, and if you're buying it for a friend, or if you even need it at all. All they are there for is for making the sale. Sometimes they'll make a commission, sometimes they won't, but their only job is to sell you those jeans. Those are brokers. They are not there to help you with what you should be doing, right? That's called financial managers, and even they have no clue, okay? They're only in it for themselves. So by the time a broker starts to pester you about why aren't you trading, why aren't you buying, ignore them. They have no interest whatsoever in you succeeding. And you have to understand that. But they are very important in the job, because when you are ready to buy what you are ready to buy, or ready to sell what you are ready to sell, they are the ones you have to go through. Now, the other thing that brokers do, and remember, brokers are businesses. They are here to make money. They don't care how and what your experience is. And a lot of times they will tell you about all the perks and the benefits of having a margin account. What is a margin account? Imagine you have $100,000 in your account, and oh wait, you want to buy all of this? So you know what we'll do? We'll give you a margin account of $50,000. What they're saying is we will lend you $50,000. And if you lose it or if you win with it, we don't care, because you still need to pay us back, and with interest. The second you get an account with broker's account, do not ever say yes to a margin account. They are dangerous and they will make you lose your money. It's not worth it. You do not ever need it. Now, the other thing with brokers is, and this goes back to which instrument are you going to be trading? Because if you want to be trading crypto, do you really want to go to a equities account, an equities broker? That's not their thing. If you're into futures, do you want to go to a crypto exchange? Again, not their thing. Maybe sometimes they'll say we do it as well, but what that means is that they'll be charging you extra, and they're certainly not equipped for that. So if you're going to be doing futures, look for those futures brokers. If you're going to be doing crypto, go to those good, reputable crypto exchanges. Okay, and this brings me to commissions. Again, if you are with a futures broker, they're going to give you the best commissions because that's their specialty. Okay, but if you're going to be buying crypto on an equities exchange, when their thing is all about equities, and a lot of times equities don't even give you commissions, but they're going to charge you a lot extra for crypto because that's not their thing. So you have to find, again, before you get a broker, because a lot of people come to me, they're like, oh, I got a broker, so now I'm ready. What are you ready? What do you want to trade? You can't do that. You can't just go and buy the jeans before even knowing what kind of jeans they are. So you have to first decide what you want to do, and then find the proper broker to work with, because they're the ones that are going to help you with the commissions, with the feeds. And what is a feed? A lot of times when you're not with the right broker, with the wrong market, it will say delayed price, right? Or delayed feed. You don't want to be delayed. You want to be in the moment. And that's what live feed is. And usually you need to pay a little bit for that. And it's not that expensive. So that's usually what that's about. All right. Now, like I mentioned earlier, platforms. Guys, you cannot be a Formula One driver in a minivan, right? It sounds ludicrous. It's absolutely not possible. You cannot play a musical instrument while you're banging on the wall. You need an actual musical instrument. For trading, for swing trading, whatever, you need the right platform. And today there are so many powerful, really good charting platforms. Okay, I am happy to help you guys if you don't know which one. And a lot of them are really cheap. A lot of them give you free access. So choose that right one. And all of them, once you decide on the right one, does have a lot of universal indicators, and that's really all that you will need. Okay, now let's talk about day trading lingo. No matter what you do in this life, no matter what career or hobby that you're going to choose, it has a certain lingo to it, right? My sons are really into rock climbing, and actually the reason why we moved to Spain is so that they can become better rock climbers. We found the proper gyms, we found the proper coaches for them, you know, and then there's a lot of rock here for them to go. And whenever I'm around them, because I'm not a climber, I feel like they're talking an entirely different language, right? But that's normal because that's their thing. When you go into day trading, into the financial markets, there's a lingo. You're going to need to know the basic lingo. And when you don't know the basic lingo, you're going to end up losing. So even understanding these basic terminologies, which we're going to go over right now, that alone will completely take you to that next level, because I cannot even tell you the amount of people that are putting money into the market and they don't understand the difference between a buy, a long, a short, a sell, a divergence, a channel. They don't even understand these basic things, and they're putting money into the market. It's crazy. So intraday trading, what is it? It is literally being in and out of all of your positions in the same day, not holding anything overnight. Why is this such an important thing to understand? First of all, if you're going to be a day trader, do you really want to be looking at a chart that's 1 week? How about if you're swing trading? That means you're holding for longer than a day. Do you want to be looking at a 1-minute chart? You need to understand your time frame. And when you know what you're doing, then you could look at the proper time frame to work with a proper amount of time so that you can become profitable. So that's why if you're day trading, you're probably going to be on a 1-minute, 5-minute, 10-minute, 15-minute chart, versus if you're a swing trader, then you could be on a 1-day chart, a 3-day chart, a 5-day chart. Do you understand the difference? It's a huge difference. Now, what's a bull market? It's literally the market going up. Bear market, market going down. And I mentioned earlier, a channeling market is the sideways market. It's that indecision zone. It's that flatness, that chop. This is where the majority of the profits of day trading gets lost. So when you understand that there is a trend that is sideways and dead and stay out of the market, you will save yourself so much money. Now, I want to talk about profit targets and risk management. A lot of people do not understand the importance of risk management and profit targets. For you to be successful, you need to tell the market what you are willing to risk, right? You have to have your risk management in place. You cannot have a mental risk in place. I mean, that's crazy, right? Because it's literally like saying you're going to put on a seatbelt, a mental seatbelt on your child, thinking that you're going to save them in a car wreck. Absolutely not the case, right? So then profit target, a lot of times you need to put in your target, because also greed will win over, right? And you'll see it and you'll move your target because you think that the market is going up, and then it turns right where your target is and it stops you out. You need to be telling the market where you want to get out. If you want to go for a more, then you split target. Okay, that is so important to understand. And I'm going to go back to the charts. All of this can be done from the chart, and all of this should be done from the chart. Your broker should be attached to your chart so that it is on the interface, and you could do it all right there without moving from one screen to the next, because that could really lose your focus. And indicators, like I mentioned earlier, I only use 2 indicators. So many people come to me and they're like, oh, I have this indicator and that indicator and this, and I'm like, why do you have so many? Well, this guy, this YouTuber said to use this one, and this guru said to use that one, and this one. I'm like, great, because for them, that might be working for them. Is it working for you? Okay, when I first began, I had 10 indicators going on. I was in constant analysis paralysis. And when I finally decided to just get rid of all my indicators, go down to one chart, one thing I realized is that a lot of these cliche indicators like Fibonacci's or Bollinger Bands or Kettler Bands, they might be working for some people, but they were never working for me. And all they did was really put me into massive stress. And when I started to kind of go through the process of elimination, working with each indicator, I realized the ones that worked for me. And it's okay not to be working with the ones that you think everybody is using, because not everybody is using them, and because sometimes they don't work for everybody, and it's okay. That's fine. It could be working for somebody, but not for you. Now, back to the trending markets. I'm going to say this again and again. Stay out of the sideways markets, out of those channeling markets, because that is where all your money gets lost. And obviously we have the upward market and downward market. Okay. Now, buy. What is a buy? Or another way of saying it is going long. To make it super simple, you're literally entering at a lower price point, exiting at a higher price point, and taking all that money in between. What are you selling? You're selling, okay? Going short. This is when you enter the market at a higher price point and exit at a lower price point. You're selling, you're shorting the market, and you're taking the profit in between. Don't get into your head, oh, but that means somebody else is losing or somebody else. Who are those somebody else's? I don't care who they are. They're not for me. They don't care about me. But if the market is showing me that the technical analysis is saying this is a good place for a short, I'm shorting that market for sure. Okay, remember, you're going in at a higher price point, exiting at a lower price point. Let's talk about market entries and limit orders. What is a market entry? Basically, when you're looking at the market and you think it looks good and you're like, okay, I'm going to go in right here. So you don't really know what you're doing. You don't really have an idea of where to go. You just looks good. And the market knows that. When you're doing the market entry, they realize that you're an amateur and they actually fine you. It's called slippage. So if you're entering the market and let's say you enter and you think you're going to enter it at $1, what you're really entering it is about $1.10, $1.20. Usually losing 20% of what you think you're going to do. And that's through market entries. That's why when you put in a limit order, you are telling the market, this is where I want to be filled. And if it doesn't fill me there, it's fine. I'm okay with it. You are in control. And that works identically to the stop limit. You are putting in that stop limit. You are telling the market what you want to risk on that. Because if you're seeing that it's going in the wrong direction and you're market exiting it, boom, you're going to lose again about 20% with slippage. So you need to have that drawn in, put that in, and really be committed to that. Okay, as I've been mentioning the whole time, technical analysis. What is technical analysis? It's actually quite simple. And the majority of it, you guys probably know and use, and I would say all of it is free. So what are technical analysis? With the indicators that you will get from your the charting software, you put in areas, divergences, reversal patterns. So let's talk about areas. What are areas? Resistance and support area. I live by these areas, right? Because the market revisits certain areas and you need to draw them in. What is a resistance area? It's literally the ceiling of the market. It is where the market is going high and all of a sudden it starts to hit over and over and over again the same exact place. That is a resistance area. You want to draw it in and you want to stay out. What's a support area? It's the opposite. It is the floor of the market. It is where the market is hitting over and over and over again 3 or more times. Okay, now, how do we spot these areas before they really start to happen? And that's through reversal patterns. Reversal patterns are, I love reversal patterns. What are they? They are double tops, triple tops, double bottoms, triple bottoms, head and shoulders. They are magical, right? And you could see them on any instrument and they are really, really powerful. They are not 100% reversal, but what they are telling you is that the market is coming to a slowdown, it's losing strength, or it could become an area. And it's telling you, stay out. And when you put in divergence, I live by divergence. This is my holy grail. So divergence is, as you can see here, the price action is moving up. Meanwhile, I use the MACDs. You could use RSI or whatever other indicator you're using is going in the opposite direction. That is where there's divergence, right? It's divergent. That means that does it mean that it's going to completely reverse and go in the opposite direction? Absolutely not. But what it is telling me is that it's slowing down. And I am an incredibly conservative trader. So I only want to be in the market when it's a strong market. And when there's divergence, it's not strong anymore. So I'm going to put everything together, what we just went through. Remember, you could go and get my presentation right here at makingofadaytrader.com. Makingofadaytrader.com. Go here and you can get my cheat sheet. So how do we apply all that we just learned? So obviously it's quite a lot, I understand, but let's just take the basics, right? You put in, how do you read the charts? So you see that there is a ceiling. You have a resistance area, and breakout trades are usually some of the most powerful trades we have out there. Now, when you draw in your resistance area, you could spot when the breakout actually happens, right? So when you have these areas drawn in, and again, you don't want to do a mental drawing, and all charting software platforms, they give you drawing tools. Boom, it breaks out, right? And this is how you are able to enter the breakout trade. And the breakout trade is one of the most powerful and most common trades out there. But if you're not going to have it drawn in, you're going to miss out on this trade. Okay, so remember, guys, go to makingofadaytrader.com. You can get all of this right there. Now, Now, the thing is, guys, is you have absolutely everything you need to take action. Everything you need, right? But the real, like, for instance, you have YouTubers, you have podcasts, you have these amazing summits, we have books, we have everything we need to take action. But the real question is, how do you know that you're doing it right? How do you know that everything that you're taking from this person, that person, this presentation, how do you know you're doing it right? And all of this is great, but the real question is, and you're probably asking yourself, how do I get started? And this isn't from beginners only. I get this question from seasoned traders who have been trading for ages, but are still losing money. They are still not consistent. And they ask me, what can I do to turn this around to be profitable consistently? And a lot of times, it literally is all about lacking the understanding of the basics, just overlooking the basics, right? For instance, driving a car. So me and my husband just had this great opportunity to teach our son how to drive a car. He just turned 19. And when he first sat in the car, we're like, okay, buckle up, put your foot on the clutch and the brake, put your gear into neutral and release the clutch. He's like, wait, clutch, gear, brake, it was all too much, right? But if you think about it, it's the basics of the car. It's the steering wheel. It's all that information, right? Imagine somebody who has never ever been in a car, and people still like that exist, and they get in the car and you say to them, okay, buckle up, it's going to save your life. And they're looking around, buckle up, what does that mean, buckle up? They have no idea what that means, but it has to save their life. If you don't know what that is, how can it protect you, right? And that's usually just the basics. I mean, you can't get any more basic than understanding where is the seatbelt, right? And this was my own sad truth for years. I spent over $20,000 on my own trainings. And every single time I would ask in the chat rooms or with other people, can you please explain what is a reversal? Where's the reversal pattern? What is the divergence? They would either ignore me or treat me as if though I had to be born with this information, and no one is born with this information. But that is all the difference. And because of that, I ended up losing almost $4,000 in less than 5 minutes, and I was done. Like, I was defeated, completely defeated. And you know what I did? I quit. But the reality is, and I know for a fact that everybody in this room is going through the same thing, is that we are all bit by the trading bug, right? And it never stops itching. And do you know why that is? Because deep down inside, we know that we could do this. When I quit, I just knew, like, I walked away for 3 or 4 months. I totally walked away, but I knew deep down that I could do this. If other people are doing this, I can do this. And that's when I decided to get back to the basics. I came back, I removed all my indicators. I actually had 3 monitors going on at once. I literally donated 2 monitors. They were brand new, high definition monitors. I just put them out for the garbage men. Hopefully they're using it. And I just went back to the basics. And that is when everything changed for me, because I never learned the basics. And funny enough, a couple of years back, one of my students goes to me, he's like, Marina, your trading philosophy and style is really similar to Coach John Wooden. And I'm like, who's Coach John Wooden? I've never heard of the guy. So I started to obviously Google him, and I found out that he was, and still to this day, keeps that legendary basketball coach legacy, right? He's not around anymore, but he was a legendary coach. And his entire philosophy was, when in doubt, get back to the basics. And I mean, this guy won 88 championships, 10 NCAAs. I mean, this man, his accolades, I'll never get there. And he trained superstars, like the best of the best. Yet, every time they began a new season, he would go back to the basics. How to tie your shoe, how to roll up your sock, how to dribble the ball. Why? Because it doesn't matter how much your ego is telling you, and how great your ego is telling you. If you're out there on the court and you don't have your shoe tied well, boom, you're going to sprain an ankle or break your foot. And guess what? You're sitting out on the bench the entire season. And that's what happens when you overlook the basics. The most simplest things could be the ones that really, really give you that stardom. Okay. And today I have a special offer only for people that are here with me today, only for the participants, because I so appreciate you guys being here. I have my introductory course, Bootcamp for Day Trading. And you can do it on any apparatus, on your laptop, your desktop, your iPhone, your Samsung, your tablet, whatever. And all of this, the whole bootcamp, for $97 one time. This is not a recurring price. This is not over and over again. All of this for $97. You could go right here, right now. Go into your URL, into your navigator, and put in bootcampfordaytrading.com. Put bootcampfordaytrading.com so you guys could follow along with everything that you're going to get. Now, the real question is, what can you get for $97 that is going to bring you the same return on investment? Do you guys like to play golf? It's funny, when we first moved to Guatemala, there's this amazing golf course, and we used to go there. It was $25 per person. Before leaving Guatemala a couple of months back, it was $119 per person. I don't know how much it is in the US now, but I can guarantee you it's more than $97 per person. You want to take out your friends and family out to dinner? Again, when we first moved to Guatemala, a dinner between me and my husband with wine, maybe $50. Now, before leaving, it was easily $110 per person with wine. We like to have fine dining. So again, $97 doesn't get you far, but this is what you're going to, but everything here you get for $97. So let me break this down for you. What are you guys going to get? First of all, simplifying your whole day trading, right? And I know a lot of times people really struggle with their platforms, a lot of times. So I'm going to simplify that for you completely. It comes with a 30-minute pro platform tutorial. Okay, 30-minute tutorial, boom, you are ready to go. You do not need to worry about anything at all with the platform anymore. You could start the trading process. Then we go into the dissecting of the markets, understanding the uptrends, the sideways trends, the downward trends, really getting into those reversals and divergences. Because like I said, once you start to spot these, they are simple, but you have to be taught. You have to be shown how to do it. It changes everything. It will be your biggest aha moments. Then you'll have the reversal patterns and the support and resistance areas, working with the divergences. Honestly, this is easy to spot and really fun. That's what the cool thing is. It's fun. But once you understand and see it, that's when you're able to do it. All of this, and you're also going to master the breakout trade. Like I said before, the breakout trades are the #1 trades out there. But if you don't know how to find them, how to spot them, you're going to miss out on them. And we will also work on the fake out breakouts, the phobos, how to avoid them, because they can be avoided and you can save a lot of money. All right. So, and all of this, you will get unlimited access to the curriculum. All of this is valued at $1,600. Everything you'll get here for $1,600. Remember, go to bookcampfordaytrading.com, and you'll find everything there and a lot more. And here's what some of my students have to say. And I have students from all over the world because that's the coolest thing about trading. You can do it from anywhere in the world. Here's Michelle. Best money I've ever spent. The feedback here is invaluable. You are the only mentor I know that checks the work. Absolutely amazing. I am enjoying your boot camp. I am learning every day. But remember when I asked you, how do you know you're doing it right? Because now I want to share something really important with you. The thing is, how do you know you're doing it right? Who is there for you to be accountable to? Who are you going to be showing your charts to, talking about it? So what I'm doing is I am included in that one-time $97 fee, one entire month of one-on-one feedback, one-on-one tutorship with me, one-on-one coaching, one entire unlimited month, you guys. And that alone is priceless because having a mentor will be what will take you to that top. And the best for last, I have a special bonus. I have a live trade chat room where it's me. It's nobody else. It's not moderators or administrators. And you get a free 1-month membership where we are in the live market, implementing, taking those trades, being live. This is incredible. On top of being in the mentorship program with me, all of this is valued at $2,600. Special price only for you guys, $97. Go here right now. Bootcampfordaytrading.com. Go here right now. Here's what you get for that $97. Everything in the course. 30 days one-on-one mentorship with me. 30 days live chat room membership. All of this included. All of this. Now, you know for a fact that this is all worth less than the price of one trade. That's the reality, guys. I know that my average trades are usually around $200 to $400 per trade. This is less than the average trade that we all pretty much are going to be doing. $97, you get all of this. Bootcampfordaytrading.com. The cost of this course alone will 10x your return on the investment. So you could have 100 of these dinners. But the thing is, because of my mentorship, I can only take 25 people, okay? 25 people, and there is a lot of people in the room here. So I know for a fact that a lot of people are gonna jump on this. So I recommend getting on it right now. So all I recommend you guys go and do right now into your URL, go and put in bootcampfordaytrading.com, bootcampfordaytrading.com, go here right now, and you'll see everything you want. So let me see here. I have some questions right now. Okay, let's see here. I tried to force up so I get this error. Apologies, but the page could not. Okay, could not be found. I almost crashed my mother's car the first time she took me out. Yes, never again, Leslie, I know. This is my all day. I took 2, had major loss in short period of time. Yeah, it's because it's literally just those basics, guys, and it will completely tweak your trading. And the fact that I will be working with you, it will change everything. Whoever was not able to get my cheat sheet, can you please email me thetraderchick@gmail.com, and I'm happy to send that to you directly. Please email me thetraderchick@gmail.com. What is your advice on trading with 2 different day trading strategies? I will tell you to make sure you do just one strategy. That's all I can tell you. One strategy. Okay. Let me know if you guys, and once you get that strategy down for that one instrument, go to the next one. But a lot of times you really need to understand that one, because when you're learning 2, you're not going to make that much money, right? Marina, the best comprehensive 1-hour presentation I've ever seen, and I have seen many. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it, Ricky, for the compliment. And thank you, everybody, for staying here with me and being here with us today. I really appreciate it. And again, bootcampfordaytrading.com. I'm so excited to help you guys and work. Website not working for 97. Really? Hang on a second. Okay, so I'll put in bootcampfordaytrading.com, and you should be taken to here. Let me put that in the chat. This is where it should redirect you. Let me know. If not, please email me, thetraderchick@gmail.com. This is only offered to the people at this presentation. I normally charge $297 for this, and then also the coaching is very limited. So it's only for you guys, but you could go right here. Oh, wait, I send it to, hang on, let me send it to you guys. There we go. So it should redirect you to this link right there. Okay. Hopefully you will be able to open that up as well. And let me know if there's any other questions. And thank you so much, David and Anka and everybody for having me here and for staying around. Oh, cool. Thanks, Catherine. I'm happy. All right, guys. Thank you so much. And I look forward to working with you all.